Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bon Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. The list is truly endless. Bon Charge ships worldwide and in rapid time. They have free shipping on every sauna blanket. They have no hidden costs. They have really easy returns and exchanges. They have a 30-day trial. They have a 12-month warranty. Truly, they just have thought of everything. So if you want to try a infrared sauna blanket or any other product that Bon Charge offers, then go to boncharge.com/manifest and use coupon code manifest to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com/manifest and use coupon code manifest to save 15%. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Manifest with Tori DeSimone. I'm your host, Tori DeSimone, and today I am back with episode 2 of Intrusive Thoughts. Intrusive Thoughts is my newest series on Manifest with Tori DeSimone, where I sit down with your favorite influencers, small business owners, and honestly just anyone that is piquing my interest, your interest at the time, and we ask the questions that we all want to know. And these are people that we know of. We maybe watch their vlogs, watch their content, but still there's things that we want to know. Like I want to know what their skincare is, what time they wake up every day, what they do every day, what they do when the cameras go down. Like I'm a nosy person, and that's exactly what this series is for. The nosy people that want to be flies on the wall for their favorite influencers, small business owners, and people of that ilk. So I'm thrilled to bring Gretchen Geraghty onto the second episode of Intrusive Thoughts. Gretchen is someone that when I asked on Instagram, who do you guys want to see on the series, my responses were blowing up with Gretchen. You guys really wanted to see Gretchen and know more about the inside scoop of things, and Gretchen is already an open book, but I still wanted to ask the questions that we all wanted to know. So we dive deep with Gretchen today. We talk about what a normal day in her life looks like on the Cape. We talk about traveling. We talk about nesting. We talk about moving secrets. We talk about wedding planning. We talk all of the things Gretchen. Gretchen, if you guys don't know, is an OG YouTuber. She's been in the game for so long, and she's one of my absolute favorite influencers to watch. She's a great friend of mine, and it was really nice to reconnect back with Gretchen, chat with her again, and just really get to ask her the questions that we all wanted to know. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode with Gretchen. Please be sure to rate this show 5 stars, share it on your story, put it anywhere that you want with a friend. It really helps the show grow, and be sure to show Gretchen tons of support. She has an incredible podcast, Happy Hour podcast. It comes out every other Friday. She posts very frequently on YouTube and nice long juicy vlogs on her YouTube channel. She's posting all the time on TikTok and on Instagram, and Gretchen is just a happy, good for the soul influencer, and I just loved having her on Manifest with Tori DeSimone. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get into it with Gretchen. I also just want to say I was holding my mic backwards for like the first 5 minutes of the podcast, so just bear with me. I would just sound like a little echoey in the beginning, but in about 5 minutes I realized, and then I turn the mic around, and then all is good. So bear with me. I use a different mic to record remote episodes than I do like episodes like this. So anyway, enjoy the video and episode with Gretchen. It's such a good one. Hi, Gretchen. Thank you so much for coming on Manifest.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Second time back on the show, even sweeter than the first.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. When you reached out, I was like, I literally can't wait. And it made me think just how long I've been listening to your podcast for, and how long we have been podcasting in general. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Isn't it crazy? I feel like it's been 5 years. I mean, I started Manifest in 2019, and you started Happy Hour, I think,
also
at the
in
same
2019.
time. Yeah. So wild. Do you love podcasting?
I do. I feel
I
like
do
it's so
too.
fun. Like we could both chat for hours, so it's just natural, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. And it's just like a fun platform. I don't know what it is. Like when I meet people in real life, I'm kind of like a bit more reserved. Like it just takes me a little bit of time to open up to people. But on the internet with the podcast, I'm like, okay, I'll tell you guys my deepest, darkest secrets, and here we go.
Yes. I know. I feel like that's almost gotten me into trouble where I'll be like an hour into chatting and I'll be like, oh, I can just like air out everything. And then I'm like, wait, Gretchen, like a lot of people are listening to this. Like you get too comfortable. It just feels like you're on the phone with your friends. And then I'm like, oh, wait, okay, this is like out in the public.
I know. I do the same thing. I'm like, maybe I should just reel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're on Intrusive Thoughts, which is the installment of the podcast where we just get to know like the behind the scenes of you. And we ask the nosy questions that we all want to know and that you give us, but I just want to know all the answers to and all the details. So let's just start with your morning routine, which is what I'm always curious about everyone. So tell me, what time do you wake up in the morning? Let's start there.
So, I guess a good place to start is I've always felt kind of like all over the place with this whole thing. And I've always been very inspired by you and everyone who's sharing online. Like, I have my 6 a.m. wake up and I do this every morning in this order. And I've always been like, oh, I want to be that way. But that is just like not me. And I feel like over the years, I'm like, okay, instead of like getting mad at myself that I'm not that way, I need to just have a more simple, attainable for me kind of morning routine. So I know you said something like non-negotiables, and I feel like I just kind of try to go with that because like I'm all over the place, like always traveling on the go. It can be so different wherever I'm at. So I feel like my main thing that I boil it down to is I try to just have a moment for me. If that's like taking an extra minute to do my little eye patches when I'm doing my skincare in the morning, or if I can like whip out my gratitude journal, that's when I feel best, if I have a second to like be with my thoughts for a second and not kind of reactive right away on my phone, answering, thinking about what I have to do for the day. So if I can take a moment, I always feel better. If it's like making a coffee, petting my dog, I just try to start my morning slow for a second. So that's kind of like my non-negotiable. And I feel like it's changed the way I go throughout my day. And I'm not just like immediate stress, start with work, and then you just feel like overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, take a second. You can get to work later. So
Yeah, that's so important. Like the slow easing into it. Because I feel like when you just jump out of bed and immediately jump into work or checking your phone or Instagram and stuff like that, like I saw this analogy one time and it was like, imagine if everyone that you woke up to, opened up Instagram, was in your room, like shouting at you first thing in the morning. Like, what a way to wake up. But when we open our phones, like that's what we're opening ourselves up to. So I love like the slow, intentional morning and, petting Brody and doing the eye patches and the gratitude journal. What kind of stuff do you write in your journal, in your gratitude journal?
It's usually very simple and like specific to that day in the moment. Like it'll be, sometimes I'm like, is this so dumb that I'm writing this down? But I'm like, you know what? No, I'll be like, I'm so grateful that it's so sunny out today. Or like, I'm so grateful I get to wake up and pet Brody and walk him in the morning. Like very simple things, but I feel like it just gets my mindset right. And I go through my day with gratitude instead of like, that is such a good, I never thought about it like that. Like people yelling at you in your bedroom. That's kind of what it feels like when you see all your notifications on your phone. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. I got to do this. I got to answer my mom, So.
Yeah. It's like such an abrupt start to the morning. And it's like, okay, let me actually just like wake up for a second. And what's so crazy is I feel like everyone feels like that. Like they wake up and we feel bombarded, but we all still continue to do that to ourselves and to one another. It's like, if we all agree that this isn't the way to do it, like why do we keep doing it? But
I know.
I like that you take it slow.
It's such a hard habit to break, the getting on your phone first thing. And for me too, before going to bed. Like, and it's so hard because you hear from everyone, Andrew Huberman, everyone and their mother is like, do not go on your phone first thing. Do not go on your phone right before you go to bed. But it is like ingrained if you're like always scrolling at night or always texting back people in the morning. And so I have to be like consciously like, okay, Gretchen, do not pick up your phone. Like it will be there in 30 minutes, in an hour. Like it's okay.
So what does your morning look like? I know you said that it's slow and intentional, which I love, and we talked about the non-negotiables a little bit. So what are those? And then do you have an order that they normally go in? Or I know you walk Brody in the mornings. Like when does this all come into play?
Yeah, so I feel like my ideal morning, I'm waking up at like 7:30. That makes me think of what I just said. I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, dang it, everything you hear is right. Like, unfortunately, if you get up at an earlier hour and actually don't go on your phone first thing and actually, maybe don't like chug a cold brew first thing, wait a little bit, drink some water, journal, go on a walk. Unfortunately, that is a better start to your day and it does work. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, waking up like 7 would be ideal. Brushing my teeth, maybe I'm journaling, petting Brody, and then walking him, like getting outside first thing in the sunshine is also so helpful. And I feel like helps, like I struggle with sleep so much. So that helps with like your circadian rhythm, being in the sunshine. If I can make a coffee. Yeah. And then the workout, I do ideally like to get that over with in the morning. And sometimes in the afternoon, it's like, okay, now I'm groggy and sleepy and have found other things to do. It's not happening. So I feel like if I have a little moment, like an hour or two in the morning, and then I can work out, that's kind of ideal for me and what I've learned. Because if I wake up and immediately put on my workout clothes, I'm like, I'm half asleep. So if I can like walk Brody, eat a little yogurt, eat a banana, whatever it is, and then if I'm doing a bar class or go for a run or a spin class, I love it all. Yeah, just kind of depending on the day.
What are your go-to workouts right now? I know you just said like spin, bar, but do you have anything that you are doing like, a majority of the time that you're loving?
Yeah. See, like the morning has always been so tough for me in the routine because I just feel like to my core, I love fun new things and like spontaneity. And I wish like some of my friends are like, that like you like get up at 6, do the same thing every day, eat the same thing, work out the same way. And I feel like I get so bored of things easily. And I've always been hard on myself, like, Gretchen, you need to run this many days a week or spin this many days a week. And now I kind of just go with the flow. And if I like today, I woke up and was like, wow, I'm so sore. I did bar the last like 2 days in a row. Like my arms are really sore. I was like lifting heavy weights. So I'm like, I'm going to go for a run. And I just went for a run. And so I kind of just, I'm always trying to be honest with myself and how I'm feeling and just
Yeah,
go with
you're
that.
intuitive. I love that.
Yeah. So like I like running. I go on my SoulCycle at home bike. I do bar classes at home. I've realized I am starting to hate the gym. Like I kind of just hate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Like it's just overwhelming and there's like people around and then guys try to correct my form and I'm like, this is like not the vibe for working out that I want. And so I've really embraced the at home. I like it more, honestly.
Yeah, there's like safety in your home. And I even
Yes.
find that too with practicing yoga. Like if I'm home, I'll try like a pose or something that maybe I wouldn't try in class because like if I fall on my face and I'm home, who's gonna know? You know what I mean? But if I'm in a class full of people and I fall on my face, like I'm gonna be really embarrassed.
So true. I know. But I do love an in-person workout class, like obviously spin classes, yoga classes. I feel so motivated by the people around me and I love that like feeling and sense of community. So those are honestly still my favorite. But when they're like far away, when I'm in the Cape or whatever, I'm totally fine with like doing my at-home bike or whatever it is. We're like currently trying to make our garage into a little at-home gym. So
Oh, cool.
we'll see how that goes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So skincare, do you do your morning skincare before you work out, after you work out, or both?
Kind
And
of
what
depends
is
on
your
the
morning
day.
skincare?
Okay,
Tell me
simple.
tell me.
Yes. So if I like wake up before I walk Brody and I brush my teeth and I'm like, okay, I'll just do it now. But sometimes if I'm like, okay, I'm going to work out right away, then I'll shower, then I'll do it after. But it's always pretty much the same thing where I used to really struggle with my skin in high school and I would wash it like 2 or 3 times a day. And I think I was drying the heck out of my skin. So now I'll wash it once a day. I only wash it at night. And then in the morning, I always rinse off my face with cold water. And I always will do a moisturizer, sunscreen. And I love those Drunk Elephant like bronzing drops because I just
The
feel like they give
best.
me a little glow. So I really don't wear that much makeup on a day-to-day basis. I literally will do like sunscreen right now. I have a pharmacy moisturizer I'm loving, mix it with the Drunk Elephant drops all over. And I just feel like I have a little something instead of just like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. And do you feel like before COVID you were wearing makeup every day?
definitely more. I feel like my lifestyle has changed from COVID. Like I feel like it has changed me.
Yeah, same. And I keep wondering like Am I ever going to be that girl who I was before? Because like I'll look back on old videos and like that's the scary thing about being on YouTube. Like our whole like life is that we can look back and be like, oh my God, I really did used to wear makeup every single day.
Yeah.
And now I can't even be bothered.
I know. Like in high school and college and stuff, it would just be every day. And now I'm like, oh, if I'm going out to dinner or like filming something that I want to wear makeup, sure. But I'm in like a t-shirt and like a ponytail every day.
Good. Yeah, life is good that way. I love that. Okay, let's get into traveling because you are queen of travel. I hate travel, so I don't know how you do it. Do you like it?
Yes and no. How we said we've changed since COVID, it's funny because I feel like I honestly traveled even more pre-COVID, like in college and stuff. I was traveling like every week, every weekend. And maybe because I was like 20 years old, I don't know. I just had so much energy and it was totally fine. And I was like a hot mess. But I feel like after COVID, since I didn't travel for so long, it started to make me a lot more anxious. And I hate that I feel that way. That's probably like a behind the scenes something people wouldn't know because I'm always on the go. But I do get so anxious before I travel now. Like the night before,
Really?
I'm like up all night, especially if I have a flight, because I feel like in my head, I need to not attract bad things in time, but I feel like I do. I'm like manifesting in the worst way. I'm like, what if it gets canceled? What if it gets delayed? Like, I really don't want that to happen. Like, everything needs to run smooth. Like, I just worry for no reason, but yeah.
No, traveling is really stressful. Do you like flying? Do you mind flying?
Yeah, I'm okay with flying. It's more so I don't want the like schedule delays or like cancellations or I miss my connection. And then it's more so like the logistics of it. But like being up in the plane and stuff, I'm totally fine with. But I know you and others hate that.
I hate it. That's why I'm so jealous. Like people will be like, oh, I have a flight. And I'm like, oh, and you're not afraid for your life? Like, what's that like? I literally can't relate at all.
But I honestly get it. And like the more I travel, I'm up in there. And if I start to overthink, like, wait, I'm like way high up in the sky with like air underneath of me. And you can really start to get scared.
Yeah, no, it's freaky. And also maybe something that I just thought of when you were saying like you were traveling more pre-COVID, it felt like, I feel like you travel, I mean, from what it looks like as a viewer, because, you know, I love your stuff. I watch everything you put out. What it looks like is that, yeah, you travel all the time, but you kind of stay put where you're traveling, like with Max's job and stuff, like you guys move a lot. So like, it still looks like you're traveling all the time, but you're just at your travel destination for longer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I know this past hockey season, we honestly, like every month, we're kind of back and forth between New Jersey and New York. And so it would be like just enough time for me to feel like, okay, I'm good, I'm settled. And then we'd like go back to our other home base. But that's why I've tried to just keep my routine very like barely a routine, like very flexible and ever changing, and just kind of have like the moment for me in the morning. Or if it's like foods that I normally stick to, like I'll always feel good with an avocado toast or a yogurt bowl, like really simple things that feel like, okay, I'm still like taking care of myself and on track and feeling good and not just like willy-nilly all over the place. But yeah, it is hard.
It is hard.
All over.
And I was going to ask that too. When you travel, do you try to stick to routines as best you can? Like, do you feel like that helps you? Does it ground you? Does it help you from feeling homesick or anything like that?
Yeah, it definitely does. If I get up, do my journal, maybe it's an athletic greens morning, maybe like little things that make me feel like I'm still taking care of myself. And if I go to a workout class wherever we're at, or if I do a little bar at home class, if I'm in a hotel room or wherever the heck we are, I do feel better. And yeah, and you like eat out so much when you travel, and I can start to feel like junk. So that's another thing. I just always try to stay in touch with how I'm feeling. And like I always say after traveling for a while, if I eat out a ton, I'm like, okay, I need a vegetable. Like I literally will start to feel like I need a vegetable. Like I need a salad. I need a smoothie. I'll just try to mix it in.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling so well. I remember over Christmas, my sister and her boyfriend were visiting, and we were just on like a Philly tour. We were like cheesesteak, pizza, like it was just everything. And by the end of the week, I looked at my mom. I was like, I need a vegetable so bad. Like I've never in my life needed one more in this moment. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
So with traveling, I'm thinking more specifically the house that you rented. It was in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
How did you make that house really feel like a home. And I think a lot of girls listening to this are, going into college and maybe they're going to be making their dorm room their home, or people are renting. There's just a lot of this time of year, people are traveling a lot and they're trying to nest in a place that isn't like their home base, but it's going to be somewhere that they're residing for a few months at a time, and they want to make it feel like homey and cozy. What are your tips for those girls?
Okay, so this is something I feel like I think about so much, especially being in so many different places, like post grad. Our first place in Pennsylvania was really because it was COVID. I really like got into my interior design era and was watching so many YouTube videos and like learning all the things. And I feel like over time, like honestly, my best tips to make a place homey and cozy and feel like yours is rugs. Always make it really cozy. If you can pick out some like nice rugs a rug will always pull a space together, like a rug under your couch with your fireplace lighting. If you have like little lamps, you can, even those mini lamps in the kitchens, I feel like are becoming very trendy, but like lamps, like layers of things. If you have like recessed lighting, but then you have some lamps and you have a standing lamp and you have overhead lights in the kitchen, and then you have your rug, and then you have cozy blankets and curtains make it such a big difference. All these things can be annoying, like, oh, I have to move my couch and put down a rug or hang a curtain rod, but it's so worth it. Like, this is what I tell my friends in apartments. I'm like, get curtains, get a rug, get cozy blankets, get a cute lamp. Like, it really makes all the difference on like the vibe of where you're at. And yeah, I feel like layering different textures helps a ton. If you have like a soft wool rug and then a linen couch and then a Sherpa blankie and then a boucle chair and a wooden coffee table and a stone vase, just like all different textures and materials can make it feel really like layered and lived in. Those are some of my favorite things.
You have such a good eye for interior design. Like, I remember your PA apartment, like it was just stunning. It's so cozy. It's so warm, so inviting. Do you do that all by yourself, or you've never had a designer, right? Like, that's just all you?
Yeah, because that was just totally my interior design era when I was moving in there. I had nothing else to do during COVID. I would really watch videos all day long. But I feel like if you can look up inspo on YouTube, like Pinterest, Google Images, if you look through the catalog at Serena and Lily, Wayfair, RH, whatever it is, I feel like that can be so helpful. And furniture and decorating and stuff can get so dang expensive. So I feel like if you can find dupes on Wayfair, Facebook Marketplace can be so good. That can help a lot.
Yeah. Would you say that you have a couple pieces that you've like invested in that you've brought house to house that have been helpful? Or is it more so like I'll get it for this house because it works, and then I'll see if it makes the move or not?
Yeah. I did get a bunch of restoration hardware for our place in Pennsylvania and then brought it here to the cave and was like, okay, this is not the vibe. Like, it's just very clunky and modern, and it worked there, but now here our space is kind of like smaller and beachy, and so I'm like slowly swapping things out, and I'm like, dang it, these are like such nice quality pieces, but they don't really fit in the space, so I'm slowly like swapping things out, Serena and Lily, whatever. But I am trying to do more like quality over quantity, and maybe it's more expensive than something on Wayfair or whatever. But like this table I'm sitting at right now is Wayfair, and there's like chips all over it. It was like the cheapest one I could find at the time, and Brody like bit at the legs, and now it's all messed up. So I'm like, okay, sometimes it's like, do we want it to be cheaper? Do we want it to like last longer? But
yeah. And I feel like you are queen of moving. You move frequently. Like, you're moving at least like once a year, right?
Yeah, I know, it is crazy. I guess like twice a year. Like, we'll move in the fall back to New Jersey. Max signed back, and then we'll come back in the spring. And luckily, this was the first year we got a pod, so kind of like a storage unit. So we left a bunch of furniture and like winter clothes and stuff like that. So kitchen stuff, we'll just have to bring clothes ourselves, our dog. So it'll be a little more simple. But yeah, I know moving is so stressful. And we're just like exhausted.
It's so much, and you do it so much. Like, do you have any tips to make it less stressful? Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bon Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. The list is truly endless. From blue light glasses to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian friendly lighting, Bond Charge products will help you naturally address the issues of our modern day way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact. Without a doubt, my favorite product from Bond Charge is the infrared sauna blanket. I love to sauna, but the issue is now that I'm down at the beach, I am nowhere near a sauna. Like for real, there's simply not one to exist down here at the Jersey Shore. I'm sure that there is, but it's nowhere near me. And it's also not something that I want to pay a membership to go sit in the sauna. So I've been really missing my sauna fix, but because of the infrared sauna blanket, I can now bring the sauna to me in a really space effective way. And it gives me all the same benefits and I'm obsessed. So the way that the sauna blanket works is number one, it's not the actual size of like a sauna, it's a blanket. So I get to plug it in. Heats up really quickly. I get in, my head stays above the sauna blanket, so my head's out of it, so I can stay in it a lot longer and I'll watch TV. Like I'll watch a YouTube video or Summer House or just something, and I get all the benefits of sauning in my own house at the shore, and it's incredible. I like to do it at night so I feel really stress-free. I sleep a lot better. It's so nice. I can stay in it for like 40 minutes, which is a really long time, and I love it. It's really easy to clean. It's super lightweight. It's small. I just love it. Bond Charge ships worldwide and in rapid time. They have free shipping on every sauna blanket. They have no hidden costs. They have really easy returns and exchanges. They have a 30-day trial. They have a 12-month warranty. Truly, they just have thought of everything. So if you want to try a infrared sauna blanket or any other product that Bond Charge offers, then go to bondcharge.com/manifest and use coupon code manifest to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com/manifest and use coupon code manifest to save 15%.
Yes, I would say like do things in doses, like over time. I was thinking that with traveling too, with like packing and leading up to travel. I mean, I guess it's similar, like packing for travel, packing for a move. If you can kind of have a game plan, like, okay, I leave in a week or I move in a week, and it's like, okay, I can pack up the kitchen today, or I can pack up all my toiletries today, just kind of have a game plan. That helps. But unfortunately, I am a procrastinator, and I'm always like, oh, I'll put it off to the last day. It'll get done. And then I just like have a panic.
Same. I do the same thing. I literally put it all off, and then it's like the last 6 hours the moving truck is coming. I'm like, oh, I actually need to get everything in here right now. But somehow that's when I do my best work.
Yes.
You get it all done.
It has to be done, so you'll do it.
It has to be done. I know. And then when you get there, are you like I have to unpack everything ASAP, or are you a slow, gradual mover-inner?
I want to say when we moved into our house on the Cape a year ago, I can't believe that was a year ago now.
I know. It's so crazy.
We unpacked quickly. I know. The past year has gone by so quick.
Mm-hmm.
But we were so excited for like summer to get started and to settle in that we like unpacked quickly. But I mean, on trips, if I'm traveling, I can be so bad. I have started to just explode over the hotel room, and I just like live out of my suitcase and there's like clothes thrown everywhere. I'm like, maybe I should like unpack into a dresser in a closet and be a little more organized here.
Yeah. How is living on the Cape? Do you just love it?
I love it so much. I feel like it's made me just really grounded and zen, and like life is so good here. Like the sun is shining, and you can like feel the ocean breeze, and also our neighborhood is so sweet. Our neighbors have been so sweet. I was saying that to one day, like also Brody's helped with that. I feel like walking him around our neighborhood, we've met like everyone, and Brody's friends with all the dogs. And one day I said to someone like, everyone's so friendly. Everyone, is always like stopping, chatting with us. And they're like, yeah, because no one freaking works here. Everyone's like on vacay. And I'm like, honestly, true. Everyone's just like walking around, hanging out. They're like, let's go grab a drink. Let's go on the boat. Let's like walk to the beach,
I love that.
That's probably how it feels on the shore too. Just very beachy and
yeah, totally. Yesterday I posted a story on Tuesday on a boat, and I was like, your unemployed friend on a Tuesday. It's just like how it goes down here,
Literally me.
So what is a day-to-day in your life look like? I mean, obviously I watch the vlog, so I do see what you post every day, but if you could give me just like a very typical a weekday at the Cape for Gretchen, hit me.
Okay, here we go. Like today is a great example. I woke up. Did I make a coffee before my run? I did. Made my coffee, walked Brody a little bit, and went on a run. I'm training for a half marathon. I know you ran one of those.
How's it
But
going?
I have well, I'm at the very beginning because I signed up with my girlfriends for one in the fall. And I'm like, okay, I'm just like seeing where I'm at, running a few miles in here and there. I ran 4 today, which is like the longest I've run in a while. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Here we are.
Feel so good? You feel so accomplished after, right?
I do feel so accomplished. So I'm like, this is a good challenge for me. Like we were talking about with working out, I can get so like, oh, I'm sick of this, bored of that. I'm like, I need a fun new challenge and like goal to work towards. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sign up for this. It's going to be something to work towards. So that'll be fun. So that, and then what did we do? Oh, we were like talking with our landscaper this morning. There's like something new every day, but I really try to get work done, things that I need to do done in the morning so that I can have the afternoon. It's hard because the summer is off season for Max. So he might like get up, work out, play golf, but then he'll have the whole rest of the day and he's sitting here like, want to go to the beach, want to play pickleball, want to hang out, want to do something. And I'm like, wait, yes, but like I also have stuff to do. So I try to get like, if I have to post Instagram stories, post a YouTube video, edit, whatever there is to edit, answer emails, like all that work stuff, I try to get done in the morning. So yeah, that's like right now, record a podcast, whatever. And then we'll like play pickleball in the afternoon, grill outside, go get ice cream, walk Brody at sunset, maybe hang out with Max's mom and his grandpa live nearby. Maybe we'll like walk Brody with them. We had dinner with them last night. And then we'll watch Survivor, go to bed and do it all over again.
I'm obsessed with this life. It's like the perfect lifestyle.
Yeah, that's why we like love summer, and especially here, and we never want to leave because it's so fun in the summer.
Does Max love it?
He loves it so much. I feel so lucky that he grew up here, and I like, you know, fell in love with the Cape whenever I would come visit his family. And it's also nice how the hockey season works out, that the off season is the summer. So that's why a year ago, going into like this past summer off season, we were like, wait, if we're buying a place, it might as well be on the Cape. Like that's where we're going to be at this house in the off season anyway.
Right.
Our favorite moments in the summer are on the Cape. Like, let's just do it.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think my new goal in life is to live like an athlete in the off season. Like Max just being like, I'm going to wake up, go like to the gym and then go play pickleball. That's my dream day. Are you kidding me? That's all I want to do every day.
He's literally thriving. It's like noon. He's like, want a burger? I'm going to grill. Want a beer? I'm like, Max, it's noon. On Wednesday.
Like, but yes. But yes, I want it all.
Right.
That's so fun. So yeah, I love seeing it all. I love the Cape content. Like when, and I'm sure you feel the same way, but I just love seeing when you're at your house in the Cape. It's just so happy. And like, it comes through on all of your videos, and it's my favorite content of yours. So if you could be there like all year round, that would be so great for me selfishly. But anyway, maybe another day.
I know.
Yeah, no, it would just be amazing. So I did want to talk about a little bit more about what goes on when the cameras are down. Like you got into talking about work a little bit, and I think a lot of people are always confused of what work is for an influencer, because we see the events of your vlogs, because obviously that's what makes the vlogs fun and exciting. Like things like going to my workout, getting my nails done, or, you know, cooking dinner, like things like that. Like we see the day to day, but we don't always show the work side of things. So when you say like, oh, I have work things to do, like what does that mean for an influencer?
So yeah, I feel like now I feel like more people understand, like viewers watching, they're like, what do they do every day? But I feel like they do know. They're like, okay, you know, if they're emailing with their management about brand deals or negotiating, whatever it is, if they are making edits to a video they have to post for a brand or post Instagram stories, like I feel like there's more transparency about that. People get that there's like some behind the scenes there, but I feel like there's a whole other layer that people don't think of if you're like strategizing content that's upcoming. Like I feel like I always take a while like planning out my videos for the month, TikToks, I'm like trying over on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. And then a whole other layer of like, okay, this is a business you're running. So on honestly like a day like today, because Max went off with his friends and is golfing, and so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have fun with him this afternoon. I'm gonna do things that I'm always putting off, like call my financial advisor, call my accountant, get to things that I've been putting off for a while. There's just like so much behind the scenes, as a business owner, it never ends. And there's always more you could be doing.
Yeah, I think that's smart and not always talked about, because I think people see obviously the content and think it's that we edit, we upload it, we promote it, and we move on. But there's so much more behind the scenes, just like any job. Like there's stuff we don't see and there's things we assume, but then there's so much more that goes into it. Yeah,
and I feel like that's what can be hard. I feel like everyone that does social media talks about work-life balance, and it is so hard, because especially if it's like a beautiful sunny day, I just want to like hang out with Max and do fun stuff.
of course.
And then he's like falling asleep. It's 10 o'clock and I'm like, okay, I never answered these emails. I really got to get back to her now. I'll just do it right now. And then I'm like, oh wait, I might as well like post these Instagram stories. Like my sister's always like, Gretchen, go to bed. That's why I'm so bad at sleeping, because I'm like, oh, I might as well just like get ahead and do this, because if I had to do it tomorrow, like I can do it now, and I'll just stay up late working. And it's like, why am I on my computer at 12:30? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, when you are self-employed, which is always just what I say, self-employed, it's easier to, well, I shouldn't speak for everyone that's self-employed, because I don't know if this is the way, but I find for myself, it's always really hard to turn work off. Do you have a method of turning work off, or do you need someone like Lucy being like, Gretchen, like you're done, like let's wrap it up?
I feel like it's helpful to have like something that signifies you're like, okay, closing your laptop, like going outside, like walking Birdie, like going to do something to get away from it. Or I can't, like I heard that recently, if you sit there and you're like, just leave your laptop open and you're like, oh, I'm done. Like, oh, maybe I'll come back to it later. Like you have to literally like shut your laptop, shut your office door, whatever it is, to signify like, okay, done for the day. Go grab your Poppy out of the fridge and walk your dog outside and like move on with the day. But it is so hard. And I always just have like lingering in the back of my head, like, oh, if I just get this done, then it's like out of the way. And I need to not, like, it'll be there tomorrow. But I'm so bad at that. And then when you want to be in the moment, you're like, but everything's contentable. Like if I am done filming for the day, but I'm grilling with Max outside and there's a pretty sunset, I want to take pictures and videos of that. And then maybe I'll just set up my phone quick to get a cool montage for my Instagram story when we're playing pickleball, even though I want to be not working and in the moment. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, no, it is really hard. By the way, I love that you love pickleball. Are you like not obsessed? I'm obsessed.
Obsessed. I'm not good, but I'm obsessed.
It is so fun. How often do you play?
Now that we're here and it's getting warmer out, like more and more. Like I would play every day if I could. We love playing at the end of the day, like at sunset, and then we'll come back and cook dinner. I just love it. It's so fun. And I feel like it gets me moving and out of the work mode. Like, okay, let's go like do something. And I feel like that helps my brain transition.
It's such a fun activity, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like when I'm done, I'm like, oh, that was a workout. Like I'm exhausted, I'm beat, I'm like dripping in sweat, like I just fully worked out.
I know, because it's so fun, so I don't realize, and I like look down at my Garmin and it's like heart rate 155. I'm like, oh, I'm like moving.
Oh yeah, no, we're like full on working out. Does the Cape have like leagues of people that will take it really seriously?
Okay, yes, because the course we go to, it's like reserve daily 9 to 12. There's a league, and I'm like, maybe when I get better, should I like show up one day and be like, can I join?
If you do, you have to let me know how it goes. We have that here in Seattle. I'm terrified of the league. Same thing, 9 to 12 reserved. They take it so seriously. I'm literally afraid of these people. Like, and they're all like 55 and older, crushing it on the court. Like, I'm terrified of them.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know if I could honestly handle that. They seem very competitive, because the other day we went at noon and the league was packing up and leaving, and Max and I were playing with friends and they were like yelling at us being like, no, you're not doing the rules right, or like, no, your foot stepped in the kitchen, that point didn't count. We're like, okay, no, we're just trying to like have fun.
No, yeah, I'm literally just here to dig the ball. Like, can't you just let me live?
No, they're like by the books.
No, they're so by the book. And the score, I have to like freshen up on the score. I haven't said the score since last summer. So I have to like remember that. And the whole like server part of it was like, it really threw me for a loop, but now I got it. And now when people don't get it, I'm like, so easy. How do you not get it?
I know. My friends that just started playing, they're like, there's so many rules. I don't get it. I'm like, I know, but you'll get the hang of it.
You will get a hang of it. When you do, you feel better than everyone.
Yes.
Okay,
We
so
love
you
you
and Max
pickleball.
have the cutest relationship in the whole entire world. Like you are the internet's couple and you guys are engaged
Oh.
as of a year ago, right? Like right around this time last year.
Yeah, it was last summer. It was August. So I know that is coming right up. It's going to be a year before we know it. And like, I don't know how that time has passed so quickly because it feels like yesterday. But yeah.
Gretchen, I'm not even kidding. The most anticipated engagement of all time. I think everyone knew like it, and I'm sure you knew too, like this was the trip. Like, did you have a
Yeah.
feeling?
Yes, we actually had gone ring shopping in February. So all summer long, I'm like, come on, let's
Mm-hmm.
go. Like, I know you
Mm-hmm.
got this thing hidden somewhere. And so, like, end of August, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my mind. And he's like, surprise, we're going to Italy. So I'm like, friggin' finally. And so that's when I was on my best behavior packing, like a week in advance. I'm like planning all my outfits. But I was still very surprised. Like I knew it would be that trip, but I didn't know how or when or where or what day or anything.
That was all of us. And like, I just remember my friends and I, we were like, this has to be the trip, like for sure. Every single day we were waking up because of the time difference. We were checking your stories. We're like, today's the day, today's the day. And it wouldn't be the day. We're like, okay, rats, maybe tomorrow, wake up, today's the day. And then finally it happened. And all of it, we were like, God, like
I know.
so anticipated. I just remember looking through, this sounds so crazy with me, but we were so invested, like looking through like your posts and everyone in the comments was like, it's got to be today. It's got to be today. And then it wouldn't be. And everyone the next day is like, it's got to be. Like we were all rooting for it so much. And then it happened. It just like broke the internet. You guys are the cutest ever. I just love you guys. And I just feel
Oh,
so honored to have actually like hung out with both of you in person. And I just have to confirm they are just as adorable in person, like beyond measure. They're perfect for each other.
you're so
So
sweet.
no, I just adore the two of you. So I just want to know, what are some tips or advice that you guys have for cultivating such a loving and trusting relationship?
I feel like we have worked on this a ton and we always just try to be very good with like communication, being honest with each other. But you definitely like grow and change in a relationship. And I feel like sometimes for guys, it's like, okay, I have to learn how to communicate better or more because they might not be used to it. And so I feel like we both, sorry, just are honest with each other about like where we're at. And we've made a very conscious effort of like spending quality time together and being very intentional with our time together. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years into us dating, I felt like we were in that roommate phase of like, okay, something's got to change. We're spending a lot of time around one another. We're not even noticing each other. We're like scrolling on our phones together. We both feel so icky. Like, what are we even doing? I remember one day I was like, I didn't even see that you did your hair differently today. Like, I'm so sad. This is so icky. Like, we need a reset. We need a sec. We got to be intentional here. And so from that moment forward, we were just very intentional. I'm like, okay, if I'm doing work on my phone, I'm going to go in the office and shut the door. And then when I'm hanging out with you, my phone is going to be down and I'm not going to be on it because we're spending quality time together. And I feel like from that moment forward, we've just made such a conscious effort of spending quality time together. And that is like my love language. So I feel like I notice that so much and I'll feel so disconnected if we're not having quality time. And then when we are, if Max is like making a plan for pickleball or is like, let's have a movie night, or I just feel like the biggest thing is you have to keep dating each other. Like we
Mm.
always are planning little things with each other or like want to have a dinner date, want to have a laundry date, want to have a movie date, whatever it is. And it just makes every day like fun and special and keeps you in love.
Oh my God, I couldn't love that more. So when you said to him, like, I feel like we're in a roommate kind of stage, how did he respond to that? Did he take offense to it or was he like, okay, let's change it? Did he understand?
I feel like he was understanding. We were like, okay, yes, like things have changed. You go from like the honeymoon when you're first together and you're just obsessed with each other and want to spend all this time together. And I also feel like every couple gets into this or can if you're not careful when you move in together
Hmm.
because when you don't live together, you're always making plans to see each other. And then that's like the quality time and special that you're hanging out. But then when you're around one another so much, when you live together, if you both have a lot of free time, which we did, it's like, okay, we need to be intentional here. Like when we're together, it's quality time. And if we're not spending quality time, let's be apart. And yeah, so I feel like we were like, okay, let's take a second. I think I like went home for a week and was like, let's see what life would be like without each other. We're not on a break or anything, but let's just have a little reset. And we were like, okay, this is sad. We like being together and spending quality time together, and we just have to be intentional with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't love that more. And I also feel like at the base of it, you and him genuinely are best friends, which is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we really are. Like we're always like giggling and laughing. And I am also thinking that I'm taking all the credit. I feel like I've made him a better communicator. No, but I just feel like from when we first started dating, like I feel like you're like me, like hearts on our sleeve. Like I'm going to tell you how I feel. You can probably look at my face and see how I'm feeling. And with guys, I'll be like, and how does this make you feel? And he's an Aquarius, so he's like, you know, doesn't even know his own emotions. He's like, oh, I don't know. I have to think about it. But now I feel like he's gotten so good. Like I'll be like if I'm like having a rough day or whatever, I'll like say to him, like, I feel like I need extra love today. Or the other day he woke up and he was like exhausted and hungover and was like, I'm going to need a lot of love today. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
So we just like tell each other.
that's so great. And he had to learn that, right? Like,
Yes.
I think that's the thing too with getting into a relationship is you have to learn how the other person relationships. You know what I mean? Like, and also just because maybe they've been in a relationship before, or I'm trying to word this the way that it makes sense in my head, but you have to tell people how you want them to be as a partner, and it's up to them to either live up to that or not.
I know, and I think the love languages can be so helpful. I remember whenever we took that quiz like years ago, his number one was like words of affirmation. I'm like, oh, I need to not just yap at you all day long and say whatever. Like what I say to you is actually very important and like matters to you. Like, okay. So I feel like that can be helpful in just like knowing your partner's love languages, how they feel loved, and make a conscious effort to do that. Because I feel like a lot of time, like couples, their love languages aren't the same. So how you might think like, oh, if you're physical touch, you just want to be around them and like cuddle them and hug them all the time, but maybe their acts of service and like doing things for them really shows them that you care. Just like being aware of that.
Yeah. I love the love languages. Yours is quality time.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I love it. But I think both of us are very acts of service as well. Like that's definitely growing for both of us. Like if I get home and he like cooked dinner and cleaned the house, I'm like, oh my God, I want to cry. That's like so nice. Or if we like fold each other's laundry, you know?
Yeah, that is so nice. And I also feel like, especially when owning a home, which I want to talk about a little bit, doing stuff like around the home must mean so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Totally.
let's talk about being a homeowner. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Like, is it, what's it like?
I love it. It's crazy that we got our house a year ago. It's gone by so quick. And I feel like in my head, I don't know if you felt like this because we're relatively young. I was always like, oh, like adults do that. This is like such an adult thing. Like they know what to do. But like, what do I know? I'm like an infant. Like I don't know what to do. But you just figure it out as you go. And it seemed very daunting. But I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. You have your lender and your realtor and your, you know, adults in your life to help you out here and there, but it hasn't been too bad. Little things like when something breaks or there's a leak or something, it's like, oh wait, I can't just call my like rental leasing office for them to fix it. Like, oh, I need to like find a plumber, call them, but things like that. It's like, okay, but it is so rewarding, and it's so nice knowing you can like make any change you want to make. You can like paint all these walls. I like changed our countertops, and it's so fun to make it your own and not feel like, oh, I'm living in someone else's house or apartment and I can only do so much. And you know,
right? Yeah, it's your own space. Have you or Max turned into our parents? And what I mean by that is, like, for example, my dad today, like every time we come down to the shore for the season, my dad just starts doing all the house projects. Like he was power washing the decks today. He started hanging flowers everywhere. Like they're like replacing all the windows. Like they get to work on the house, like full-time job. Have you or Max like turned into our parents where it's just like, okay, and now I'm going to buy a lawnmower, and that's like the exciting Saturday I have planned?
I feel like that has been Max. He was so excited when we got in here. First thing, he like hired landscapers, and he's always like talking with them. We like picked out new plants that we're putting in our lawn. We were doing that this morning, and we were talking with our landscaper. Like, we're doing that, and he always like calls if we want our cleaners to come, or he's always like on top of that type of stuff and just like maintaining the house. And he's like buying hoses to clean outside, and he's probably like pressure washing. I don't even know. He does all sorts of stuff outside. So he definitely is his parents in that way. Both of his parents are very handy and like will do things around the house. So that's so helpful to have him, because I would be like, I don't know what to do. I call him, I'm like, how do I turn on the sprinklers again? So yeah, he's figured all that out.
I love that you guys are homeowners. It's fun. It was a really fun process to watch, of like the house hunting to closing on the house, and then the cosmetic changes that you were making in the moving vlogs. It was really fun to watch. So, and the house is just so beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, last thing that I want to get into, your wedding planning. How is it going?
It's going good. Honestly, the hardest part, it seemed up until this point, I'm sure my mind will change within the next year of planning more and picking up more things. But finding a wedding planner, I found was so hard, because I'm like, okay, step one, wedding planner. I need some help. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no experience. None of my friends have gotten married. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Need a wedding planner. And we talked to 3, and they were all amazing and all very different and all had different price ranges. And I'm like, okay, how do I know? Like, how do I know what decision to make? So I felt like that was so hard, but I just kind of like went with my gut and really wanted someone that had done a wedding at the venue we chose. So that was helpful, because she had done multiple there. So I'm like, okay, this feels right and makes sense. And that was definitely like the best decision we made, because they can give you recommendations on vendors. Like the most recent thing, literally 2 days ago, we spent all day, Memorial Day, sitting there looking through work of like photographers, videographers, bands, and like narrowed down our favorites. So that was really fun.
Is that stuff fun or stressful?
See, in my mind, it's like, oh, we have to make all these decisions. It's stressful. But then as we were doing it, it was so fun. Looking at photographers, I was like crying at other people's wedding videos. I'm like, this is the one. We love this videographer. So it is actually fun in the moment. And I need to not like overwhelm myself and stress myself out. It's actually so helpful with a planner too, because I feel like they kind of course it out for you. Like, we went to our venue with her, and the lady at our venue was like, oh, I don't know if you picked a florist yet, blah, blah, blah. And she's like looking at us like, well, I kind of have one in mind, but I haven't really brought it up to you guys yet. Like, I think she knows the vendors will pick and have them like kind of set aside. But is like, so she's like, okay, pick your photographer and videographer, and then we'll move from there, not to like throw everything at me at once kind of thing.
Yeah. What I love about your engagement too is that you guys like really took your time to nail down the date, nail down the venue, because obviously you get engaged to get married and to plan a wedding. Yes. But I also feel like the engagement, it's like a whole event in and of itself. Like, let's enjoy the engagement.
I know. I always said I wanted a 2-year engagement, and that's what we're doing. And then I kind of question myself sometimes, like coming into the summer, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish we were getting married this summer. Like, why did I take my time? But I didn't want to feel rushed at all. I didn't want to feel really pressured to make decisions right away. And so I'm happy we took our time. I'm sure by the time of our wedding date, we'll be like, okay, finally it's here. But yeah, I did want to take my time, because if you have a year engagement, it's like, okay, right after you get engaged, pick your venue immediately, because you probably barely have a date left. You have to dress shop immediately. You probably need a year for that. So it's like, you know, you kind of have to move quickly. But
yeah, I love how you guys did it, and it's really cool just to watch your engagement and your love story, and it's so cute and it's so fun. Has anything come up in wedding planning where you're like, oh my God, this is absolutely dreadful? Like, no one, because I always see brides, they'll say stuff like 3 months out from the wedding, and I've never been more stressed. And I just watched all of like Summer House when Kyle and Amanda were getting married, and like they looked like they wanted to kill each other. Has anything come up where like the two of you were like, oh my God, this is so beyond stressful? Or has it just been nice so far because you're not like super close yet?
Yeah, not yet. But I could see it being more like that as you get closer, since we're like more than a year away still. I feel like we've had the privilege of taking our leisurely time making decisions. But I also could see as it gets closer, you have to like nail down your guest list, and then maybe people last minute are calling you and canceling, or they can't make it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, but I like paid for this person. And then you like, I feel like there are so many little logistical things at the end that could get stressful, but just hoping for the best.
You guys rock. I just wish you guys the best. And Yeah, I'm just so thrilled for you. And thanks so much for coming on Manifest. That's all I have for us today.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
So much fun. No, I had the best time. And yeah, where can everyone find you? Chat about your socials, your podcast. Let it rip. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
So my Instagram is just my name, Gretchen Geraghty. And then YouTube is also Gretchen Geraghty. TikTok is Gretchen Geraghty. My podcast is the Happy Hour Podcast. Usually just like an hour long happy chit chat. Yeah, that's it.
It's always one of my favorites to listen to. Every other Friday still, right?
Yes, it is. I know yours is like my favorite too. You've always inspired me in my podcast, and I feel like I still bring up things you've told me. Like to this day, in my podcast, I'll be like, "My friend Tori told me this." I always think about it.
Yeah, I talk about yours all the time too, and I'm just like,
Oh,
Gretchen this, Gretchen that. But thank you so much for coming on Manifest. It was such a treat to have you. Please come on anytime. The girls love you. I love you, and thank you so much.
thank you.